Hey guys, Jennifer here with the Family Fudge and welcome to Subscriber Lunch Sunday. This week I'm going to be sharing 4 different lunches that all have one thing in common, and that is a wrap. That's right, all of these lunches will have some kind of delicious, tasty, but easy to put together wrap, which can be a great alternative to a boring old sandwich. Now you guys, before we get started, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you like fun lunch ideas. And if this is your first time here, welcome. I hope that you will enjoy this video today and that you will consider subscribing for more videos just like this. And now let's get on to the lunches. Okay guys, I'm kicking things off with a lunch idea sent in by Kiara from Michigan. And you guys, I picked out her lunch idea because her main course sounds super interesting. It's something that she says she gets at her school, and it's called a flivver. So to make this flivver, I'm going to start with a basic flour tortilla. To this, I'm going to add a layer of shredded lettuce, followed by a good amount of cheddar cheese. Next, I'm going to top this with chicken strips. These are store-bought, already made, ready to go chicken strips. Then you guys, I'm going to top it all off with my kids' favorite condiment, which would be ranch dressing. I want to have a good amount of this on here so it's nice and saucy, but I don't want it to be so saucy that it just spills out everywhere. So now basically all I have to do is wrap this up like a burrito and it's good to go. Okay guys, now you'll have to let me know in the comments down below if you've ever made something like this or tried something like this. Use the hashtag flivver if you have. And from now on, every time I make this type of wrap, I'm going to be calling it a flivver too. So now that the main course is done, I'm going to move on to Kiara's fruit. She requested grapes, so I'm going to do a combination of both red and green. Next, I'm going to add in some carrots. I just went ahead and cut these into sort of a crinkle cut French fry shape. Next, I'm going to be adding in some pretzels. That's what she picked out for her snack. And then that brings us to the treat. For Kiara's lunch today, she requested some good old chocolate chip cookies. And I really like these mini ones. They fit so well in a lunchbox. And now to complete Kiara's lunch, I'm just going to be adding in some water. Okay guys, next up I'm going to be making a lunch idea sent in by Isabelle. Isabelle is from Germany, and you guys, her lunch idea is also meat-free. So if you're looking for a meat-free wrap option, this is a good one. For Isabelle's main course, I'm actually going to be making 2 different wraps. And you guys, both of these sound super interesting and delicious. For the first one, I'm going to take just a regular flour tortilla, and to this I'm going to go ahead and spread on some regular cream cheese. This isn't flavored or anything, although you could use flavored cream cheese and that would be good too. Now at this point, I'm going to be adding on lots of grated carrot. Of course, carrots are super sweet and crunchy. I'm personally a huge fan of fresh carrots, not so much the cooked variety though. Now I am going to go ahead and add a little bit of salt and pepper on here just to season it up a little bit. And you guys, believe it or not, that's everything in this wrap. I'm just going to go ahead and roll it up and it's good to go. And I could serve it just like it is, but I think it would be really pretty to go ahead and cut it into spirals. Now for the other wrap, again, I'm starting with just a regular flour tortilla, but this time, instead of adding cream cheese, I'm going to be adding some peanut butter. Now personally, I think this would be really good with extra crunchy peanut butter because that's my favorite. But right now in my house, I only have smooth, so I'm just adding some of that. Now at this point, instead of adding grated carrots like I did with the first wrap, I'm adding in some grated apple. This is actually a combination of Granny Smith apples and sweet Gala apples. I love that sweet and tart combination in here. And with this wrap, instead of adding salt and pepper, I'm just gonna sprinkle this with a little bit of cinnamon. Now all I have to do is roll it up. I'll go ahead and slice this as well. And you guys, that's all there is to it. These look so good. So now that the main course is done, I'm going to move on to fruit. She requested grapes, so I'm going to do a combination of both red and green. For Isabelle's lunch today, she requested cherry tomatoes. So I'm just going to add a couple of those right in here, with some fun food picks as well. For Isabelle's snack, she requested crackers, so I'm just gonna add a few of these ones. And now it's time for the treat. For this lunch, I'm gonna be throwing together some peanut butter balls. Now, these are a little bit different than the ones I made a couple of weeks ago in my plant-based lunches, but they're very similar. Basically, it's the same recipe, except this time, instead of adding chocolate chips, I'm just adding in some dried fruit. So I have craisins and raisins in here. These are so easy and so good. And now lastly, for Isabelle's drink, she requested some tea sweetened with honey. You know, Isabelle told me she is a teacher and she definitely needs that for her voice. And there you have it, guys. I just love the way this turned out. You guys should definitely give these wraps a try, especially if you're looking for something interesting and new. This next lunch idea was sent in by Chloe from Michigan. Again, another great lunch idea sent in from Michigan. I'm thinking that wraps must really be popular in Michigan. For Chloe's lunch, I'm going to start with a nice green tortilla. You guys know I love these. They add spinach to these tortillas, which is how they get that nice green color, but they don't really taste very strongly of spinach. To this, I'm just adding a layer of roasted red pepper hummus, which I think is so good. And now on top of this, I'm just adding a thin layer of turkey, followed by some thinly sliced cucumber, and just a little bit of diced tomato. You guys, this wrap is super simple, but all the ingredients are fresh and delicious. Unless you don't like tomatoes, you can of course leave those out. So now I'm just going to roll this up. I'll add a little food pick in here just to make sure these don't unravel in the lunchbox. And you guys, that's all there is to it. Now that that is done, I'm going to move on to the fruit. For Chloe's lunch, I'm adding a combination of kiwi and strawberries. And for her vegetables, she requested carrots with extra hummus for dipping. For Chloe's snack, she requested some salt and vinegar potato chips. So I'm just adding a little stack of these Pringle salt and vinegar chips. And now that brings me to Chloe's very special sweet treat. Now this is something she calls a healthy apple crisp. And you guys, I will go ahead and leave a link to this recipe in the description box below if you'd like to make it yourself. But it's basically just a bunch of apples. To this, I'm adding cinnamon and sugar. Then this also gets a delicious crunchy topping. This is a mixture of oats and a little bit of flour. And finally, for Chloe's drink, she requested some hibiscus tea. I love hibiscus tea, especially from Starbucks. I love that. Chloe likes hers with a little bit of honey and plenty of lemon juice. And she especially likes it over ice. And there you have, you guys. There is everything in Chloe's lunch. Okay guys, now that brings us to a lunch idea sent in by Taylor. Taylor is from West Virginia, and I thought her wrap today looked really interesting because it actually doesn't involve a tortilla at all. So for those of you that are eating gluten-free or low carb, this might be the one for you. For Taylor's wrap, I'm actually going to be starting with a layer of lettuce. Now you can use lots of different kinds of lettuce for this. They will all work just fine. Usually I like to use red leaf lettuce because it's nice. It comes in nice big pieces. So to this lettuce, I'm just going to add a few slices of deli ham, followed by some cheddar cheese. And you guys, that is it. Super simple, always classic. I'm just going to roll this up. Definitely going to add a food pick in here just to make sure it doesn't fall apart. And would you look at that, you guys, that looks super tasty. So now that that is done, I'm going to move on to the fruit. And for Taylor's lunch, I'm adding a combination of both pineapple and strawberries. This is such a colorful and a tasty combination. And then for her veggie, I'm adding in some sugar snap peas. I did go ahead and trim the edges off of those peas. And to go along with the sugar snap peas, you guys guessed it, I'm adding a small container of ranch. Now moving on to Taylor's snack, she requested Pringles as well, but this time I'm adding the pizza flavor. Now if you guys are fans of Pringles, you'll have to let me know which flavor is your favorite. Personally, I really like the ranch flavored ones. I also really like the salt and vinegar ones too. And now for Taylor's treat, again something that I'm a huge fan of, some Reese's peanut butter cups. I decided to go with these cute little mini ones. They just fit so well in a lunchbox. And then last but not least, for Taylor's drink today, she requested water. Okay, now you guys have to let me know in the comments down below, out of all of the wraps I showed you this week, which one is your favorite? And don't forget, you guys, if you'd like to send in your lunch idea, there is a link in the description box below where you can do that, because that's pretty much the only place where I'm gathering lunch ideas from these days, not any other place on the internet. Now don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in my next video.